Hi, my name is LaVitta Murray, and today is September the 21st. And what I will be talking about is some of the biblical studies, or should I say, Manna Church 8019 Cedar Avenue. The studies on Romans 12, a living sacrifice, our doctrine and our duties. Paul moved from a doctrinal discussion to a practical discussion. Later, I will post for discussion from you. I want you to participate because what I'm seeing in the people is they're studying, but they're not paying attention to God's lessons. So for Christian doctrine translate into action, and you probably could see that in the Million Man celebration with Farrakhan and the Rise Up October from Carl Dix and Cornel West, and of course Dr. Frank Smith partnership, and of course myself, and the actions with the Muslims and the nations coming together to fight against the injustices on our people. In the Roman 12 duty, we know that's doctrine and duty. The first 11 chapters of this letter reveals God's mercy to sinners that He sent to His Son to die on the cross for our sins. Not just our sins, but the sins of the enemy. The last 5 chapters explain our obligations to God. If the only message of the letter is the way we can come to God through Christ, then the closing part of the letter is the way we all can live for God in Christ and in our brotherhood and sisterhood with each one of us. In view of all God has done for us, how we can respond in a way and it's pleasing to Him. And we know we're not responding. We're not responding in the way that's pleasing to Him. In the last 2 weeks, a number of children, drive-bys, killed children. We know the police terror stopped the police. We know the women and the racial justice against the people. We know the massive mobilizations that we're taking in the New York March to stop police terrorists October 24th in New York. And we know we're organizing, me and other women protesters and rallies and marchers are coming together to organize the women for 2016 Women's Day March. A million women marched at Cleveland. So we know the book of Romans is about what is sacrificial living. What does it mean to you? Standing up for justice, of course, is sacrificial living. We know it offers an outline, which I will offer an outline of the breaking of the world's mold, which is removing or getting rid of the systems that's against humanity or inequality or injustice, oppressions. To put these directions in motion means going against the flow. We have a people move that just go against the flow. They don't know which side to take, and we take the side of justice. Yet God does not hesitate to confront us with this choice. You will be confronted with your choice of injustice. You will be confronted with your choice of ignorance. You will be confronted with your choice of darkness, your choice of self-will over obedience. God will confront you. The option is not whether we will conform to this. I love Martin Luther King. He was a nonconformist. I love Farrakhan. He's a nonconformist. Carl Dix, Cornel West are nonconformists. They will not conform to the conditions and accept the conditions of the people who are treated unjustly and who will follow or will follow the lives of the people in the pattern of this world. Myself, LaVitta Murray, I'm against it. We will not conform to this world. We will stand up for justice and the humanity, and we will not accept anything less. And we know that that's the components and pattern of God's pattern. We'll see that in Romans, the 12th chapter. This study is a very lengthy study. These marches is a very lengthy marches. I had a great time with Hillary Clinton. She was here in Cleveland at Case Western Reserve in August, and her testimony as being one who was a foster care, out of foster care system herself, who's sacrificing her life as one of those who's delivering both the inner and outer self to the public. I thought was very good. Me personally, I come from pimps, players, hoes, dope boys, gangsters. You know, those warfares. Those are the warfares that I've been delivered from. And so I know the conditions of our people when they running cords, extension cords all through the building just to have lights, just to keep the freezer cool from putting the food in the freezer to for food drive day. You know, we're looking at different gymnastics of how the oppression of the people, even through the economic system, and such as the Cleveland Public Power and Illuminating Company, cutting off all the people's lights because they don't have all the money. They should be the protest around sanctioning those companies who serve us no justice. When we have money, you're friendly with us as a service, but when we don't have your money, that's a pimp mentality. That's wrong. When we don't have money, want to cut your services off. Yes, they should be sanctioned because we know that our head and body goes together, and when we're cold and we don't have any electricity, that's being non-conforming, constantly mean resisting that type of living. We fight that. We come back for the fight. We continue to fight justice and all the pressures in the world on our people to live in these conditions. It's unacceptable. We don't have to renew our minds if we don't allow our minds to get old on these conditions, and we continue to change these conditions. We constantly ask you to stop accepting the injustices in the world. We constantly telling you to stop living in these conditions. We constantly asking you to speak out for justice. And we're not going to keep begging you. God is not going to beg anyone to speak up for justice, but may punishment come upon you so hard that you will rise up from the ground level and speak up and stop using false humility and use the true humility that rises up against inappropriate treatment of our people. So we just thank you. I'm not going to say much, but we will get in deeper debt of why this study is important. On the marches, I will be showing videos. I will be showing different demonstrations You can follow up. You'll see it under LaVitta Murray. My contact number, my email address is millionwomenmarch.cleveland@gmail.com. Thank you.